Welcome to Post Game on the Pitch. I'm Oz Vidamar here of CascadiaSports.net. And this is one of those where we have the original and then the present. Jackson Felch, you started this whole Post Game on the Pitch, and now you're with KJ. What's going on, my brother?
Hi, great to be here, Maz. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, well, we try to do a pre-production meeting, and we say we'll talk about whatever we want, right? That's in the business. So, Sounders win 1-0. What are your takeaways from this game?
My biggest takeaway of this game is that they grinded out another 1-0 win. It's another clean sheet. It's the back-to-back clean sheet here to finish the season. Back-to-back 1-0 win. And when you can win games 1-0 very late in a season, think about the confidence it gives on both ends. The offensive end saying, if we only get one, we know our defense can hold and lock down a game. On the defensive end, we know we can lock down a game. We just got 2 clean sheets in a row against the Minnesota attack that has a guy named Darwin Quintero, who's pretty darn good. San Jose had Chris Wondolowski, he's pretty darn good as well. And for the defense to get both of those, it gives them a lot of momentum. So it gives everybody mentally a whole big boost to be able to say, if we're up 1-0 in the 60th minute of a playoff game, which will be, by the way, here at CenturyLink Field.
On
October 19th will be the first round game. But even if they didn't win that one, and they're in the next round game, whether against Portland or Real Salt Lake, they're up 1-0. They have the confidence in knowing, we've already been through this. We know what it's all about. We can lock down a 1-0 win. Mentally, it's a huge victory. And then on top of that, getting that extra home playoff game, getting to second place, knowing that if you win that first game against FC Dallas here on the 19th, you're going to be playing here again on that next Wednesday or whatever it is. I believe the next Wednesday against Portland Salt Lake. Mentally, this is as big of a win as they come.
And it was an emotional day, obviously, with the Brad Evans getting the Joe Roth Golden Scarf, right? And then you had Ozzie coming and play for Minnesota. But going back about the defense, Jackson, they haven't had the same lineup for the 2 clean sheets. How are they doing it? Different players are coming in, and you're still playing. I mean, Stephen Fry, obviously, he's been there. But in terms of the back line, it hasn't been the same because Roman Torres didn't play in the shutout, right?
Yeah, he had the 10-game suspension, so he played just a few minutes against San Jose. But for Roman Torres, getting his first start since coming off of that suspension list for violating the MLS substance abuse and behavioral health policy, the big question was, is he match fit? Is he going to be ready to start, take over, play 90 minutes? Well, that was an emphatic yes, and a hell yes. He was unbelievable today. He's your Budweiser man of the match on our broadcast. He scores the goal in the 29th minute, fittingly so with his number, of course. He looked great. And then defensively, if we expand it here, Kim Ki-hee might have had his best game as a Seattle Sounder today. He was my personal man of the match. I thought he was outrageously good in terms of stepping up. Minnesota tries to get balls to Quintero. They tried to get balls to dangerous spots, and time after time, Kim Ki-hee would step up, make an outstanding play, send it all the way back to midfield, and the job by Roman and Kim, and I was talking to Stephen Fry in the locker room, and I asked him, does Kim Ki-hee or does Roman Torres back in make Kim Ki-hee a better player, just in terms of his style and how they fit? And he said no, but sorry, Steph, I'll disagree. I think it does.
He can't say that. Like he said, he can't favor him, right?
If Steph was here, I probably wouldn't say that.
Right.
But I think that it does make Kim Ki-hee, it allows him to play, I think, in a more comfortable spot. It allows him to play next to somebody he's played next to more of, obviously, than Javier Arriaga. And I think Kim Ki-hee's a better player. We saw the 2 of them paired together was a better combination today defensively for the Sounders than we've seen in many, many weeks.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Kim Ki-hee, to kind of recap, played the disruptor role. Like you said, jumping into passing lanes as a cornerback would do, kind of stopping any type of passes in there. Most interesting, we talked to Jordan Morris, speaking of the defensive front end, and he talked about how it starts from the top in terms of their defense, the pressing, and how important the team has bought into the defense. So what you have is a Sounder team that's playing defense from the back to the middle to the front.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked about the win today. What do you think about them, FC Dallas? What are your,
Yeah, I mean, let's go back to that game here on September 18th that was right here, right? 0-0. And the thing with FC Dallas was they came to CenturyLink Field on a midweek game. Both teams working with fixture congestion, knew who started in that game. Jordan Morris didn't start, Brad Smith didn't start. It was Roldan on the right wing, Jovan Jones on the other wing, and Jovan may get the start again depending on Victor Rodriguez's health and Brian Schmetzer's decision. But you're going to see Jordan in there. You're going to see Christian back. Jordy DeLem was starting in the defensive midfield. You're going to see Christian back next to Gustav. You'll see a first-choice Sounders team against this Dallas team. And the most important part is you're going to see a Dallas team that actually might try to score a goal. The craziest thing about that match on the 18th was Dallas came in here in that midweek match on fixture congestion knowing they didn't really care about getting 3 points. They said, if we can come to Seattle, who are really damn good, and get a point, we're happy with that. So the style of how Dallas plays was so amazingly different than what we saw, or than what we will see a couple weeks from now. There'll be two different teams. So Dallas, in terms of the players are the same, of course.
Yeah.
But the strategy involved that Dallas is going to bring. Jesus Ferreira is an outstanding player. Really, really young guy. I mean, Paxton Pomykal, very, very good as well. And the involvement that they had just a couple weeks ago was nil. The involvement that they'll have a couple weeks from now is going to be tenfold. It's going to be much different. So I'm very interested to see how this Dallas team comes out, if they will be more aggressive, if they will be more on the front foot, and if the Sounders are ready to see a different Dallas team.
Brilliantly said, and they will be aggressive. Dallas will. It'll just be interesting to see when. You know, do they? You know, the classic. Your producer KJR and you sports, and you know that sometimes if you're the away team, strategy can be you come out and you quiet the home crowd, or sometimes you absorb the impact and then go there. So that is November.
That is October, yeah.
October 19th is
right.
when they play, which is an interesting day. We don't know what time. That's the same day that Oregon and Washington plays, and then also that night the Who will play in, and then the next day there's a football game.
Who are playing?
The Who.
Oh, I got to get myself some tickets.
VIPs like you, I'm sure, make that call. And let me know, because I've seen them before. They're an awesome band. But there you go. So look for a let me put a little, barring no injuries, because the players 2 weeks, right? The players are off to the reflective, the international. They're
right.
going to go to play for their country, and so hopefully no injuries for anybody right now, right? Because we want to see the best play the best. So I'm Masvidal Mara here for Post Game on the Pitch. Jackson Phelps for Sports Radio KJR. Thank you, and Sounders win, and they are number 2 in the West.